Cars versus motorcycles. Which is safer? I'm an avid motorcyclist. I would like to, I'd like to be on the side of the motorcycles, but just fact is fact, a car is safer. I have, a 2.5, 3-inch shell around my head. They got a 6-inch shell around their entire body. Fact, car is safer. Okay. That said, I am quite tired of people walking into my place of business and saying, "Oh my God, you ride that motorcycle? Oh my God, every person I ever known has died on the motorcycle." Okay, let's talk about motorcycle deaths, okay? Motorcycles rarely cause deaths on their own as far as mechanical failure and stuff like this. It does happen. It happens in cars. It does happen, but it rarely happens on a motorcycle, okay? Most motorcycle accidents are involved with a car, okay? So, here's where my point of view gets askew just a little bit. Is it that the motorcycle is dangerous, or that the earth-killing, smog-making, way too much power, more power than you'll ever need SUV is dangerous to the motorcycle? Get your mind around that for a second. If you watch, like in, I'm not saying a specific country, I'm just saying better uses of horsepower throughout the world. In India, you can't get a motorcycle over 225 cc's, and that's for a family of 4. Okay, that's their transportation, family of 4. Now, I'm not saying we all need to go Indian style and hop on straddle anything with a motor and go down the road. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you got a big, loud SUV that, let's see how I can put this, a big, loud SUV, okay? That SUV is powerful, way more powerful than you'll ever need. That SUV protects you beyond anything that could happen to you in the capabilities of that SUV. The consequences of this are you live through anything, and that you really don't care about everything else around you. Okay? Alright. I'm just saying, that is a consequence of a safe car. Now, motorcyclists, we choose to ride motorcycles. It is more dangerous, especially on a road like this with no median in between oncoming traffic. That's a little dangerous. But motorcyclists who make it to my age, who've been doing it a while, who are not thrilled by trying to kill themselves, we generally we make it through our whole lives riding a motorcycle. Most of us do. Higher percentage. Most of the percentages of people who die on motorcycles are extremely young, and they like to say, the political correct thing to say is young men who have not honed their motorcycle riding skills. The translation is young men who think they'll never die and they'll last forever, and thinks they're bulletproof, as we all do when we were young men. You see that? You see that anticipation? That anticipation of that Sebring was going to pull out there, and I just need to get over. That was just instinct. I didn't try to challenge him. I didn't run up on him. I didn't yell at him. Just instinct, yeah? We need that kind of instinct. You see there's a green light and I'm not accelerating because there's 3 cars in front of me? Instinct. Because he's going to do that because he wants to get 2 inches more ahead. And he's so impatient, he's just going to make a bad decision. Cars do it all the time. Cars outnumber motorcycles about 300 to 1. I think that's a low estimate, by the way. I did a little math there before I made this thing, and it's about 300 to 1 in the world. In the United States, it's much higher. And you know, it's like I want to say it's like 12,000 to 1 or something. But in the world, because there's some places where it's just all 2-wheel vehicles, it's all scooters, it's all that kind of stuff. Okay, time for me to get over because this is not going well. Cars outnumber motorcycles a lot, and that's what's dangerous to motorcycles. Pretty much. Yeah, I mean, the cars and yourself. Motorcycles themselves, they're 2-wheel vehicles, and they have to balance, and gravity never turns off. And do you see this edge coming across the line there? Sometimes you just gotta speed up and get past them, because you know, a car, especially in an SUV, when you're in a larger vehicle, yeah, you're stuck on that left-hand side of that car. And there are people, including my lady, there are people who cannot imagine where the right side of the car is. Right? And I know there's going to be a lot of manly types watching this video, and they'll be like, of course you can. I'm telling you, there are people who do not know where the left rear, right rear, and right front corners of their car are. Yes, there are people who park and drive just according to how close they are to the left marker of whatever they're doing, the left marker of their lane, or the left marker of their parking space. It's true. Those are the people who's really dangerous for motorcycles. The people who not only are they not aware of what's around them, they're not even aware of the corner of their car that's 4 feet away from them, you know, or however far. Especially, you know, a truck or something where it's 50 feet back there. Truckers. I know there are very few non-competent truckers. I'm not doing against truckers. I love truckers. I enjoy stuff. You know, I don't have to go into any specific thing. I know truckers get stuff to me. All stuff I need, stuff I want. It's pretty much truckerific, yeah? I know that. I enjoy truckers. There are a few truckers who shouldn't be trucking, though. That's as far as we're going to go on that. So, a little random, I know, but are motorcycles more dangerous than cars? Well, that's a vague question, isn't it? Is a motorcycle more dangerous than a car? Yes. It has to balance, and there's no shell around you except for your head. Unless you're wearing the gear, but still, if you shelled your whole body, you'd be so inflexible that you'd wreck every time. Anyhow, so there's a balance of safety there. Motorcycles are less safe than cars. Yes. But where the danger is mostly represented is from cars. Yeah? So, let's just go to a hypothetical world real quick. Let's go up to a hypothetical United States where everyone rode motorcycles. Okay? For each motorcycle accident or collision, there would be a very, very good chance that they both lived, because when you impact a 600-pound vehicle compared to impacting a 4,000-pound vehicle, there's just a much better chance you'll live. Okay, so if everybody was crashing each other with motorcycles, most of them would live without the cars there. Bam. But apart from that, completely apart from that, if everybody was riding motorcycles and they didn't have that airbag, safety system, restraint, collision braking, camera backup, all this thing, they would just be more aware drivers. You get me? When it's gonna hurt, right? If you watch a car commercial, they imply you can run into a brick wall at 80 miles an hour and it's not gonna hurt. Even less even less chance you'll die from it. It's not even gonna hurt. It's gonna be like falling on pillows. That's not the way it is, of course, I know that, but that would be the implication that car companies would like you to have, how safe their cars are. If you own a motorcycle without that airbag, without that restraint system, without that, all this stuff, everybody will be more aware drivers and it would be a safer place to drive. I kid you not. There's facts from other countries, where there's hardly any traffic law, right? No traffic law, no signals. There are lanes and roads, but nobody uses them. And people don't die, not at the rate they die in the United States. They just don't. Everybody moves a little slower. That's true, because they're all discombobulated. That's true. They are inconvenienced more in other countries. That's true. But more people live. More people live, survive. And getting a scratch on your bumper is not a 6-month insurance ordeal with tying up police who could be arresting rapists and murderers. No. We'll tie them up with the scratch on your bumper and who did it and who gets a ticket. So you scratched my bumper, so you're going to need to pay a ticket and you're going to need to go to court, just because freaking the laws of physics were proving that if two things come together, something happens. No, in most other countries, it's in most non-ultra civilized countries like the UK and the United States, you settle up right then and there. Sorry, man, I'm really sorry. Oh, it's just a scratch. Give me $20 and keep going. So, oh, I think this is my turn. So it's not all about how bad motorcycles are for the place. I don't think. I think it's how bad it is that cars and motorcycles play together. And you watch, the world's getting greener. You may not be a motorcycle rider, but I guarantee it won't be long you'll have an engine no bigger than a motorcycle's engine in your car. So you're all coming back to the motorcycle, whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not. And inherently, okay, watch this aspect of it. So we're all going backwards. There will be less horsepower and such. You'll have motorcycle engines in your car, stuff like smart cars and stuff like that now already do, but you will, which means the weight of the cars will go down, which means, motorcycles will weigh 600 pounds and cars will weigh 1,200 pounds instead of 4,000 pounds, okay? Or even less. I think smart car only weighs 900 pounds or something like that, and so if there were a multitude of those cars out, and a motorcycle and that car collided, there's a lot less chance of people dying. We're talking about simple, just those two factors. I know there are a ton of other factors like how fast they were going and what gear they were wearing seat belts and airbags and all those wonderful things. I'm just saying, on those two bases only, 600 pounds runs into 1,200 pounds. The 600 pounds is going to move the 1,200 pounds. So you're not going to go from 35 to 0 in an instant. You're going to go from 35 to 10, okay? So you had an impact of 15 or 25. How about my math? 35 to 10, you had an impact of 25 mile an hour. When a 35 mile an hour motorcycle hits a 4,000 pound SUV, it does not flinch, and that's a 35 mile an hour impact. If you don't think that's a big difference, get hit at 25 and 35 mile an hour, you will feel the difference. You will like, oh lordy.